Questions?
Say Sam is president, in theory. He's dropped dead. Okay, he's run off to get married in Vegas with Miyamoto. Is that better?
Sounds like that.
Okay.
Why not Sakurai?
Oh.
It's not the question.
Question for another day. What do you do? You found out he's gone. He's disappeared for whatever reason. He's not like contacting. He's not contactable on Facebook. What is like the sort of first thing you do? What would you do to make sure that you're filling in that empty slot of president?
Get out the costume shop, get my Empire Sin cape on, ask everyone else what Sam was meant to be doing, or I should know what Sam was doing, because we should have had the minutes and everything, so pretty much pick up on what needs to be done. Still try to get in contact with him, obviously, but if nothing can be done, then just fill his boots, become Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. If Sam had to leave, I'd pick up the strings, sort of inform the rest of the council, and ensure that everyone knows that he's gone. He's not like disappeared for good. If he does. And generally, just ensure that LGS keeps on running smoothly. Do the best we can.
Wilson?
Oh, in the event that our president leaves us. I feel like the role, one of the many roles of a vice president is to be able to step up if the president is not present, not just completely gone, just not present. It's their responsibility to be the next best man, to be able to fill that quota, per se, to be that next authoritative figure, the new kind of president, ex-vice president kind of view, if that makes sense, right? Right?
Okay, so yes, in the past we've had a number of different vice presidents, all with their defining traits. We had Darren, who was basically the solid backbone and the rock of the society. We had Jackman, who's basically regularly been like the face and all that, and the ideas guy. And we have Bobley, who was just awful. What do you believe will be your defining trait as a vice president?
No, Donkey, we're going to shift along each one, so to give people a chance not to be the last one. So Donkey, if you want to go first, then Wilson, then this last one.
So definitely, as a backbone, I want to be the guy that ties up the loose ends and ensures LGS runs smoothly and just keeps it running.
Yes. Okay. For me, the whole supportive thing is I want to be like a mix of the first two, support as well as the face, the person that people can come up to and talk to about LGS and their own kind of individual issues, as well as support the council and kind of be the bedrock almost.
You're quite sure you don't want to be awful?
Yeah. I totally want to be.
All three have a nice.
Yes.
There's a nice range of good.
Yeah, you know what I mean, right? Just the kind of the person everyone can talk to, as well as rely on council and members. I feel like that's the role of a vice president.
You be the glue that holds the council.
Shut up.
Reese. Naturally, every vice president would want to be like the reliable, the rock, the backbone. I really said I wanted to be like the creative guy, the guy who like held the family together. But I guess what I will really be remembered and defined for is how I do and like the impact that I bring to society. So in a way, I can't really answer that question yet because my legacy is written after I've done the job.
And in terms of the role, for each of you, what would you say your biggest weakness is?
Just like
Being that guy.
Wilson, if you want to go first, then Reese.
In essence, I hate to be that guy who just steals someone else's idea, but I'm with Sam on this one. It's my third year, I've got my dissertation, I'm part of Smash Brotherhood, I've got all these assignments coming up. I feel like almost probably will overwork myself. But I would not be sat here if I wasn't with the best intentions to make this my greatest priority. Because whereas I feel like grades are great and all that, I've got friends here who are relying on me, and that's something that's more important than any sort of number on a degree.
Okay, so my greatest weakness, if you haven't noticed already, is that my salt content is quite high. So, if, for example, I ran an event and it sucked, and you told me it sucked, I'd take it on board, but I'd be quite salty about it, probably. But obviously, like, yeah, it's not going to be anything that will probably get like in the way of my work, but like I get quite emotionally invested into the things I do. So while that can be a really good thing and help drive me forward, I have identified that sometimes it can be something that holds me back as well.
Okay.
Definitely next year, so I'm copying people again. It's like the going from my second year, so I've got my project, well, I'm going to be doing a project in the second year, which will take up the time. There's just sort of time constraints next year that may be a problem, my goodness.
I've got a question. If you could be an animal, what would it be?
Fuck off,
Why?
I thought we were banning these questions.
Reese?
I like wolves.
Just search out. Okay.
A griffin, because they're loyal.
Awesome.
A blissey.
A blissey.
Remember my question.
A blissey because I want to read their minds.
So the current recurring theme throughout these PowerPoints and all data, we want to make LGS a big society, but for to my larger, we already are a pretty big society. Can you elaborate on what this means, or be a big society, or what kind of impact do you want LGS to on campus, or the reputation it has? Because I actually don't know if LGS has a reputation. Not saying it's good or bad thing, but I don't. No, but saying you want to say you want to become a big society, what does that actually mean in practice?
Sort of definitely in terms of making LGS big, sort of definitely improving the ties between other societies, getting us known in Lincoln as the gaming society. We like we run events. Yeah.
I'll say, yeah, be more public about things like the 24-hour event. Like, not just make everything exclusively members. Obviously, there's going to be benefits to being a member. That's just the way membership runs. But sort of bring more in by being more public about things, like the 24-hour event and all that. Also, with the whole new member thing, I feel like if we were to be more public, we would get more memberships, which in turn would give us more funds, which in turn would make it easier to make more events, have more fun, and then more members would be interested because it's being more public. It's just a giant circle, and it just keeps getting bigger.
Alright, firstly you said that you don't think LGS is a big society. You said you think LGS is a big society, then you said you don't know whether it has a big reputation, so it's kind of a contradiction. But, like, yeah. I want to make the society bigger in the sense that I want all these seats to be filled, not just half of them. I want people, when I walk around and I talk to people about the gaming society, I want, like, everyone, or at least 95% of the people to know what I'm talking about, or know that there actually is a gaming society. And like I sort of want, like as Wilson said, to be known, like, and like I want to get like partnerships like with some of the other societies. I want like LGS to be respected amongst the other societies, and I just really want us to be like near the top. I want people to say, or to be walking around saying, yeah, the gaming society is one of the best societies. I want people, everyone to think that, not just people who come here.
Chapman?
So, I have a hypothetical for you.
Okay.
So, you're running a tournament and you turn up, but shock horror, the TVs haven't arrived.
Damn.
We've had this many times. How do you deal with this situation?
Just me first.
Yes, Wilson.
Bring my own. Call in some favours.
How
do you know there's no TV there?
Yeah, you've arrived and it's half an hour before you start.
Obviously, there'll be other
Then I run.
I step down.
Call in some favours, you know, call home. I have friends that are loyal to me in my apartment who would be more than happy in my grip of shock and horror to bring some TVs down. It's because I do have connections in that sense where I can rely on other people if things just completely go haywire. But I feel I can do that. I would bring my own things. I would call in friends to bring their things, and then it'll be fine. I mean, it wouldn't be ideal because there would just be like TVs just kind of on a table. But it means something would happen, and we wouldn't have a reputation of being really unorganised and awful.
I want to be the kind of vice president that never lets that happen, ever.
Oh, you don't get the
Well,
choice.
mate,
You
it
don't
doesn't
get the
matter.
choice.
Doesn't matter.
But-
If you depart,
but-
no.
Yeah.
In the event that does happen, I'm going to have to take myself home, get my own TV, obviously try and get other people's TVs around. Like, there will be things I'll do. Like, there are people I know, people around the area, I will have contacts and probably be able to get things like. My ideal world, you wouldn't have even noticed that there's no TVs. There'll just be different TVs. And you'd be like, why are there different TVs? And I'll be like, I don't know.
Okay.
Definitely sort of have a backup plan, sort of locate TVs. You can use the big screen for tournaments as well, and basically ask for favours. We've got this big TV at home, you can ask people if they want to send it down.
I'm going to ask the last question. Oh, no. You want to?
Yeah.
Go on then.
You keep saying about like the goal of expansion, but obviously there's loads, thinking from a business point, loads of different goals like survival, efficiency, security, etc. What one would be your main one? You can only pick one. Your main goal for the year. So,
That's one second.
Duncan?
Definitely security. I want to make LGS a safe place for gamers. This from here is sort of big room, sort of safe. People love coming here playing games, and I want to keep that going, make it safe.
Sorry, what was the list of things?
they're just like objectives for the year. So would it be
Oh, an objective.
expanding the community, making sure it runs more efficiently?
In,
Which one is the most important one for you?
It came out quite a lot in my presentation, but definitely the idea of expanding the community and making sure anyone who even defines themselves as playing games can be welcome here, rather than just like the stigmatism of like, oh, you're casual scum, get out, you know, you don't even play video games, you play mobile games. It's like, no, if you play games, you're welcome here. You can share your passion with everyone, and that's what I want. I want people to just have fun. That's the brunt of it. We're here twice a week because we want to have fun, and that's what I want to show people.
Reese? Dank memes. I'm joking. Not dank memes. But my main objective is basically enjoyment factor. It's quality over quantity. Although expanding is one of the things I want to try and get done, I want everyone to at least have fun. Even if like we don't get like bigger in terms of bigger numbers, I want every single person to leave the room saying I've had a good time every time. And if that isn't happening, I want to be the person to make that happen immediately.
Sergeant Pal. Yep, that's it then guys. Can we give a round of applause to the vice president, please?